here what we are doing and what we are planning to do, and why we all have assembled here and initiate this series. We all know that there has been a big gap, huge gap when we talk about the capturing the actors of, and especially the contribution of the social and solidarity economists, especially through the cooperative sectors. And this platform gives a clear, huge support and to all those people who are into the cooperative sector, and especially the social and solidarity economic sector. The World Cooperative Economic Forum, it acts as a key catalyst to bring the social and solidarity economy at front, and in fact, it emphasizes the human social values and ethics in economic activity and relations and economic practices. Further, it is building upon the democratic governance, self-management, reciprocity, and active citizenship. You all are aware about the Institute of Public Administration, the Association of Alumni for DCBM, and of course the Center for Good Governance, an institution in Telangana, which is into the helm of affairs in bringing the Good Governance Index in association with DAR, Department of Administrative Reform and Public Grievances. So I would not take too much of time and request our chairman, Sri Dilip Sanghani ji, to please take the platform and educate us how to go further. Sri Dilip Sanghani ji.
आप सबको शुभकामना के साथ धन्यवाद कि आज हम ऐसे दिन पे विराट पे मिल रहा है। पंडित मोहन
मेरे ख्याल से कुछ नेटवर्क में प्रॉब्लम आ रही है। शायद कुछ नेटवर्क में प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, तब तक हम लोग थोड़ा इंतजार कर लेते हैं। आज उनके यहाँ गुजरात में गवर्नर साहब का प्रोग्राम है अभी थोड़ी देर में, तो उसको छोड़ के वो बैठे हैं, फिर हम लोगों के प्रोग्राम के बाद निकलेंगे। Let me talk him once.
एक मिनट, मेरे कुछ नेटवर्क में प्रॉब्लम है, मैं अभी रीलॉग इन कर रहा हूँ।
He is in vehicle and trying to reconnect. Meanwhile, being let us go further. I straight away invite Dr. Rajesh Sharma Sahab, who has been the chairman of the Delhi chapter of Indian Institute of Public Administration and a noted public administration practitioners, especially when it comes to the grassroots organization and district administration. So I request you to provide educators and give your keynote address, sir. Dr. Rajesh Sharma.
Thank you, Dr. Vinod Anand. And this is, in fact, a great day for all of us for two reasons. One, that it is the birth anniversary, as you rightly said in the beginning, of two great sons of India who contributed their best for the upliftment of the people in general, reconstruction of the society and the nation, and those who really contributed to the improvement of quality of life of those who were deprived or not so really gifted people of the country. Shri, late Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee, the former Prime Minister of India, and late Shri Madan Mohan Malviya, who did a memorable work in the field of education and other areas. And he really worked for those who did not have access to quality education. And Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee dedicated all his life for the service of the nation. So I pay my humble regards and to both these sons of India. Respected Shri Dalip Singhania ji, Professor Suresh Mishra ji, Amitabh Kundu ji, the distinguished participants, Professor Suresh Mishra, who in fact can be said to be a person who is not academics alone, but who has been working hard in enabling, empowering the people of the country, and the distinguished participants in this webinar. This is one of the most appropriate theme for this day, particularly since we celebrate this day as a good governance day. And I must say that good governance can be operationalized in the most effective manner and efficient manner at the grassroots or cutting edge level. And the cutting edge of the administration is the district administration in our country. Though there are several levels of administration and governance, but district is the key to all progress, because it is at this level that all policies, programs, activities are put into reality, are translated into reality through the mechanism of several line departments that function at the level of the district. So therefore, what role the district administration can play in furthering the cause of good governance is no secret. And in fact, it is at this level that our officials that are working and engaged in promoting and ensuring effective implementation, that the good governance really comes into operation. Now, so far as the theme of the day as to what role the district administration can play or has been playing in creating, in nurturing, and in sustaining social and solidarity economy. Friends, I would like to say that so far as the social and solidarity economy is concerned, it has its roots in the fact that every country of the globe, every country of the world, particularly the developing countries and not so developed countries, the middle level countries in terms of development and the lower level countries in terms of development have been insisting now, and they have been refocusing that the country's overall development cannot take place until and unless we are able to really bring into place certain mechanisms, certain strategies, certain tools into existence, so as to really contribute to the overall development of the society as a whole. We know that the three basic concepts that are being emphasized these days is diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I think these three goals, if they are not to be merely a propaganda words, if they have really to become an agenda for the government, not only here in India, but anywhere in any other country, who is interested in providing access to the sources and resources of the country and access to the development as a whole, then equity, diversity, and inclusion has to form a central theme of our approach. And without any hesitation, I can say that district administration can be one of the very important units where these three goals can be translated into action. They can be achieved at that level. Diversity, equity, and inclusion also involves two things. You know, there were many approaches to how to achieve these goals. One was the top-down approach. That is, the state-induced policies, programs, funds, finances, and structures that a state will formulate all these things and will bring into existence the institutions and structures with the provision of funds and finances so as to achieve the goals of that policy. So that was one model, which we also call as the top-down approach to development. Now, thereafter, we also came to the conclusion that top-down approach, in fact, may not be the appropriate technology to achieve the goals. So, therefore, some people said that planning, strategy formation, and goal setting, they should also, in fact, emanate from below. So, in fact, at this level, we brought into play the role of the society, the social organizations, and it was believed that social equity and justice, in fact, can be better achieved through the bottom-up approach, where there are several institutions. In other words, what I'm trying to say is that the old and traditional conventional model of development was sought to be replaced with some kind of a development model which should be based on participatory approach, which should be based on some kind of a collaborative approach. So both the models, whether it was top-down model or it is bottom-up model, they were found to be deficient in meeting the needs of the society, in meeting the aspirations of the people, in general and particularly the deprived sections of the society. So, therefore, it is in this context, to the best of my understanding, that the idea and the concept of social and solidarity economy emerged. And the focus of this solidarity economy is that we must make some kind of integrated whole of our development. And if we have to make an integrated whole, then merely individuals or merely the state may not be able to deliver what we really want to be delivered. And therefore, several organizations came into existence, and the focus was that these organizations that are working at the grassroots level or as a whole, they must be strengthened. For example, even today, we have a number of organizations. And recently, the government of India led a specific focus on developing the cooperative sector, strengthening the cooperative sector, which in fact is the another way of expressing the commitment to collaboration and cooperation, so that the interest of all the people do not clash, but they really mutually reinforce each other, whether it is the interest of one section or the other section. And at the same time, the participatory and collaborative approach will give a sense of ownership to the people. Therefore, whether it is the agricultural cooperative marketing societies, or it is the farmers producer organizations, or it is the collaboration in the field of education and health, or it is the question of creating jobs at the level of at the rural level. And I'm certain that the job creation, in fact, has also undergone a change. The conventional notion of job creation was merely under some kind of a state-owned enterprises. These days, we are talking of social enterprises. We are talking of the solidarity organizations which are engaged in the task of production and distribution, whether it is the marketing sector, or it is the production sector, or it is the distribution sector. Everywhere the focus is on developing a network of cooperation and collaboration. So, in this sense, the solidarity economy, in fact, is a combination of the economic enterprises as well as the social enterprises, with the help and engagement and involvement of a number of organizations of the people, the community organizations, not for profit organizations, and also aiming at bringing the people or giving the people an opportunity to access the national resources, and also provide them access to the social resources. The second aspect that I would like to emphasize here is that in countries which are too diverse, historically, culturally, economically, they need some kind of the local based approach. Localization of development is also at the heart of solidarity economy approach to development. And when I say localization of development, means that when our development policies are framed, they should be framed in such a way that they take into account the diversities, cultural, economic, administrative, and so on. So, therefore, the role of district administration acquires significance in this context because they are very close to the people. The administration at the district level is really close to the people who can appreciate, understand, and also promote the common approach to the problems and needs of the rural society at that level. So, therefore, uh, the district administration in general and the district collector in particular has a special responsibility to achieve the goals of development and good governance. If good governance can be, understood as a people-centric approach rather than people-oriented approach, it is not merely people oriented development, but it is people centric development. So, therefore, the district head of the administration can really take care of this focus in the new environment, particularly when we are confronted with the challenge of the failures of market economy. Now, in that, self help mechanism can be brought into existence, can be promoted and strengthened. We in India, for example, has been focusing on self-help groups. Now, there are so many states where self-help groups, particularly taking care of the vulnerable sections, including the socially and economically disadvantaged groups, has done better to deal with the problems of poverty, to deal with the problems of disabilities, not physically, not physical disabilities, but there are several other disabilities, social, educational, cultural. So, through self-help groups, we have brought about a significant and impactful change in the lives of the rural poor. Now, self-help groups is the area where these district administration and almost the line departments can play a very impactful role. Not only to by spreading, self-help groups may not be able to take off until unless the target groups for whom this self-help group approach has been adopted are aware of the scheme, how to go about it, how to be involved and engaged in this scheme. Now, if they have the knowledge and information about the organization working of the self-help groups, then many problems of credit, many problems of cooperative marketing, many problems of collective ownership of the production and distribution can be taken care of. So, therefore, the district, it is here in this context I am trying to say that district administration, in fact, has not been able to do much in all states equally in this area. The self-help groups are strong as well as poor in different parts of the country. It means that there is something missing in one part and there is something which is available in the other part of the country. And in this, the awareness campaign and the incentivization activities can be undertaken by the district administration. It is not merely the financial help that matters in different collaborative schemes, but it is not merely incentivization. It also means some kind of dissemination of the knowledge and schemes, which is based on innovation, which is based on creativity, which creates confidence in the mind of the people. So, therefore, interaction between the society, the interaction between the people, the target groups, and the district administration is very important from the viewpoint of strengthening or effectivization of the execution of the programs that may have been framed at the high level, but the focus should be that we must shift from the top down to the local level preparation and implementation of schemes because people know their needs and people know how to really utilize the locally available resources, both financial resources, the capital available, and the human resources that are there. So, mobilization and utilization of the locally available resources cannot be totally left to the discretion of the target groups. It can be helped, it can be provided some kind of additional support by the district administration so that the people engaged in it develop higher level of confidence and they also think in terms of new ways and means to achieve the goals. Now, for example, when we come to the solidarity economy, now there are so many organizations that work in the field of, say, for example, the child welfare without any motive of earning profits. The district administration, concerned line department, can develop a close relationship with such organizations and can help them realize their goals. Similarly, if I understand this, the social entrepreneurship and the economic enterprises can be linked together. In other words, the relationship between the state, the society in general, and the people in specific can act as the carriers of solidarity and social economy. It is in this context that it will also go a long way in the utilization of the resources as a whole and the most dreaded disease of corruption, both at the higher levels and at the middle levels, can be eliminated, particularly when the people at the grassroots level are empowered to do their job collectively. So it is the collectivization of our development process that solidarity economy really works for or through. So this is one aspect. Another aspect of solidarity economy is also that such kind of schemes, solidarity economy or social economy, will remain a paper kind of a target until unless people really are made aware and they are also inspired to practice solidarity and also the social economy goals and practices. Many of the people may be prepared to work together, but they may not be aware as to how to really go about it. So it is here that the district administration becomes relevant. And district administration is not merely the administration at the headquarters level. District administration is a unit which involves administration below or sub-district level as well, whether it is the revenue division or even at the block level. They must work with the people. And if they start working with the people, I think the transparency openness will naturally come, will naturally follow. And people will know how the administration really works. What are the challenges they face? What are the opportunities they have? And how they can really meet these new emerging, emerging issues. So, the solidarity economy in the present global era uh, can be one of the answers to meet the problems of disparities, discriminations, inequalities, unemployment, and also the exploitative environment. This can put to an end to this environment of discrimination or exploitation or differentiation, whether social or economic. This is the very important aspect which must be focused in this new approach to development, though it is not so new now. But in India, of course, the focus on solidarity economy is a recent one, to the best of my understanding. So, if we want to really want the social and solidarity economy to take roots and go deeper to the grassroots level, to the village level, then we must organize. We must, uh, you know, uh, empower the people at the village level itself. Whether, uh, I think uh, even in cases where we believe that some schemes are too huge to be tackled at the collaborative stage of the people's organizations, and yet I believe that many of our programs can be can be implemented more effectively to the most advantage of the people whom we want really to benefit from that scheme, much more through solidarity efforts, social enterprises efforts, than merely the bureaucracy or the administration at the higher levels. Let me give you one example. We have been talking of the water resources. We have been saying that water is a scarce commodity, and we have been saying that we must conserve water if we really want to meet the several other challenges facing India as well as the world as a whole. The climate change, for example, can also be taken care of through the system where the issues like water conservation can be tackled through the cooperation, involvement, and participation of the people, particularly at the grassroots level. I think the water goes waste much more in the rural areas, particularly during the rainy season. How to conserve? How to harvest water? Where that harvested water can be used? Can we really involve the organizations who are working for the water conservation? Can we involve the Panchayati Raj institutions with the cooperation and interaction between the Panchayati Raj and the district administration so as to really? Another example in developing the coordinated efforts, uh, integrated efforts for development is the disaster management, where the societies, the communities can be better engaged and involved in meeting the threats and challenges of disasters, both the natural as well as the man-made disasters. The man-made disasters can be better dealt with the engagement and transfer of responsibility to the local organizations or to the people's organizations. And therefore, What we need to do uh, in this area is that we first understand and convey the meaning, the scope, the dimensions of solidarity economy, and particularly the people who are meant to come together. Still, India is a society where perhaps cooperative has not really got a kind of a mental acceptance by many of the people in those areas. So acceptability of the concept, acceptability of the and awareness of the practices is, to my mind, is important for creating, nurturing, and sustaining solidarity economy. And I would say in the last that solidarity economy cannot succeed merely by preaching until unless the aims and objectives as to why we need this kind of approach, particularly in the era where the focus is on sustainable development. Sustainability has become one of the important focus areas of development. So development is not a one-time activity. If it has to be a sustainable development, then the integrated approach, people-based approach, participatory approach, involvement approach has to be taken. And lastly, it has to be a partnership building between the different sections of the society and also the organs of the government and the people. Until unless we do it, I think our commitment to the role and contribution of solidarity economy will not be producing the desired results. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. With this keynote, I went back 25 years down the lane when I was sitting in your class. Really, it was treat to it was a music in the ears to listen you about these aspects, especially the social and solidarity economy, sir. And I remember still that we had a discussion where it was discussed that in the whole of the constitution, the district word, in the original constitution, the district word is only mentioned in the Article 239, where we talk about the district judges. Later on, when the panchayat and municipal thing has inserted, then it was the district word has been defined, and even the village word has defined. So that was the British's rules, British's way of dealing the things. We were not having even the district and villages defined in the original constitution. Uh, Before we go further and listen our chief guest Sri Dilip Sanghani ji, I will give you some data, the incidence of poverty globally, because we are sitting on the platform of World Cooperation Economic Forum. There are around 485 million. Remember the word, 485 million poor people living in the severe poverty across 110 countries. And as per the the data, they are experiencing more than 50 to 100% of weighted deprivations. There are 99 million people, poor people, experience deprivation in all the three dimensions. There are 10 millions of the 12 million poor people who are having the highest deprivation scores, and they are living in sub-Saharan Africa. Perhaps India is not even there, thanks to our planners. Around half of the 1.1 billion poor people are children under 18 years of age. This is the the which groups are the poorest, and 84% of all poor people who live in the rural areas are poorer than urban areas in every world region. So 84% of the poor people who live in the rural areas are the poor people. That the rural areas are more having more poorer people than the urban areas. Now there is where we think about the cooperation, we think about the cooperative, and how the things have changed. We have a practitioner with us as in chief guest, this is Dilip Sanghani ji, who is also leading and providing us the leadership to take the cooperation and this deprivation, you know, removal in action, how to remove all those obstacles. He is also the chairman of Gujgo Masul, Gujarat Cooperative Marketing, organization that is in that is a premier and federal organization of the Gujarat, where marketing of the all of the agri produce takes place. You will surprise to know, sir, that within in 1 year when he has joined in 2017, now every year the three almost to almost 150% of the profit comes in the Gujgo Masul. The last year it was the data was what we have seen is from the profit of 7 crore it has risen to 23 crores. So that is a kind of achievement Sri Dilip Singhani ji has given, and I think this model need to be talked globally. When in 2025 there is an International Year of Cooperatives, the United Nations is going to celebrate. The World Cooperation Economic Forum should take this thing, this thought, this action, this coordinated action at one place. That how from 7 crore of the turnover it has risen to 23 crore in one cooperative organization of the country. Why it cannot be achieved in other part of the country? Why this model cannot be taken up globally? So, with this, sir, I will request Sri Dilip Sanghani ji, who is chairman of the National Cooperative Union of India, the ex law minister also of the Gujarat. So many ministries, so many he has led in the Gujarat government. He has been in the member of parliament, very renowned member of parliament. Also, he is chairing IFCO, the largest, world's largest farmers cooperative organization. And apart from all this, he is providing the leadership also in the World Cooperation Economic Forum. Sri Dilip Sanghani ji, over to you, sir. Sir, you are on mute, sir. Please unmute.
थैंक यू डॉक्टर राजीव शर्मा जी ने बहुत अच्छी बातें बताई। इसी दिशा में प्रधानमंत्री ने सरकार से समृद्धि का स्लोगन जो दिया, उनके माध्यम से डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल पे नहीं, गांव तक हम हमारी समृद्धि कैसे बढ़ाएं। समृद्धि सिर्फ एग्रीकल्चर के सेक्टर से नहीं आए, ईच एवरी सेक्टर को मजबूत करना होगा। उनके लिए गुड गवर्नेंस एक बहुत मायने बात रखती है। यूरोप में इस तरह से कोई भी प्रोजेक्ट गवर्नमेंट की स्कीम हो, बजट में हो, इम्प्लीमेंट करने में जो दिक्कतें आती है उसको सही दिशा में ले जाने के लिए गुड गवर्नेंस दोनों साइड में जरूरी है। ऑफिस बेयर जो है चुने हुए प्रतिनिधि, चाहे कोऑपरेटिव का हो, चाहे विधायक हो, चाहे पार्लियामेंट हो, चाहे डिस्ट्रिक्ट पंचायत के मेंबर हो, म्यूनसिपालिटी या कॉर्पोरेट के ऑफिस बेयर हो, और इनके साथ जुड़ी हुई कर्मचारी अधिकारी की तंत्र की जिम्मेदारी, इन दोनों एक साथ मिलकर यदि गुड गवर्नेंस का देश के साथ काम करेगा तो डिस्ट्रिक्ट से लेके नीचे तक, गांव तक हम इसी दिशा में रोजगारी, और जहाँ रोजगारी मिलती है इसी संस्था में बहुत ज्यादा मजबूती करके कैसे आगे बढ़ाए। इस दिशा में आज वर्ल्ड कोऑपरेशन इकोनॉमिक फोरम के माध्यम से ऐसा दिन पसंद किया है, मदन मोहन मालवीय का जन्मदिन हो या अटल जी का, दोनों ने देश में एक अच्छी परंपरा शुरू की। आज इस दिन पे यहाँ हमारे साथ अमिताभ जी भी कहने वाले हैं, बाकी के लोग हैं। उनकी एपेटाइजर, उनकी जो अनुभव की दिशा देने की ताकत है, का संकलन करके जो विश्वास है इसी संस्था के माध्यम से देश में कोऑपरेटिव का आज तक नया मंत्रालय नहीं था। प्रधानमंत्री ने नया मंत्रालय बनाया है, अमित भाई को जिम्मेदारी दी है और विनोद जी जैसे और आप जैसे मार्गदर्शक रहेंगे। एक थर्ड फ्रंट सरकारी तंत्र तो चलता हो, उनका ऑब्जर्वर काम करता होगा, लेकिन हमारी इसी दिशा में काम करते हुए देश को कुछ प्रदान कर पाएंगे। मैं मानता हूँ कि हम बोलने से ज्यादा आपके माध्यम से जो मार्गदर्शन मिलेगा वो सही दिशा में ले जाने के लिए ज्यादा उपयोगी रहेगा। उन सबका जो विचार है वो एकत्रित करके इसी दिशा में आगे बढ़ेंगे। मैं आप सबका धन्यवाद करता हूँ, स्वागत करता हूँ कि आप लोगों ने समय निकाल के आज के जो दिन शुरू हो रहे मैं शुभकामनाएं देता हूँ और आप आगे बढ़ाइए, ऐसी मैं रिक्वेस्ट।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर आपके आशीर्वचनों के लिए और आपके एक सहयोग के लिए। हम इससे पहले आगे जाएं, आई थिंक our documentation team must be taking care of the keynote address and the messages given by the dignitaries and pushing it to the social media and other front regularly. When it comes to cooperative, when it comes to good governance, and when it comes to catalyzing the development in the rural areas, don't think about 1947, think about 2047 now. And 2047 में जब हम विश्व की बड़ी इकोनॉमी के रूप में जब दुनिया में बैठेंगे तो कैसा गांव लेके जाएंगे, what kind of village we will have, what kind of egalitarian society we will have, and what kind of rural economy we will have, what kind of delivery mechanism we will have, what kind of robust supply chain to the rural areas we will have. This is a question. Especially at this juncture, when though our agricultural economy is taking a good shape, has taken a good shape, and so many reforms are on the way, the structural reforms are on the way. But there are institutions like, even in the Ministry of Agriculture, Sudhir Kumar Jha is sitting with us. He is also one of the integral part of the World Cooperative Economic Forum. He was, listen to me and find out some way. There are institutions where the farmers are not getting good quality seeds. The farmers are not getting the good opportunity to market their products, not only the locally but globally. उनका कहीं कोई जगह नहीं है. They are not educated enough, and also they are not getting good quality, pesticides and other agricultural technologies. And हम कैसे भारत की परिकल्पना कर रहे हैं, where the departments like CIB and RC, that is the Central Insecticide Boards and Registration Committee, is still swirling around. अभी भी वो पूरा पाषाण काल में है, अभी उसमें बहुत सारे बदलाव होने हैं. So we would not lose much time and will request Sri R.G. Agrawal ji. Sri Ram Gopal Agrawal ji is an alumnus of famous college of the Delhi University. Way back in 60s he has done his graduation. And after that, he is contributing. He is an entrepreneur and he has created an empire of Dhanuka Group, where he serves the farmers through India ka pranam har kisan ke naam. It's a kind of good governance mechanism also. So Sri R.J. Agrawal ji is with us, and we will request him briefly to educate us that how the quality agro input can be given. And from this house, we are listening him, and we will listen him in this global webinar and jot down the points how to improvise it. The one thing which is disturbing me also to catalyze the especially the solidarity economy and the social economy is there are around 9,000 companies which has been given the right to sell and market and do the retail businesses in the agrochemical sector. But when it comes to know your company, which the CIBRC has started, the data of only almost 2,500 companies are there. So where are those companies? Where they are working? So it's a governance issue. It's a huge governance issue. On this day, what the district administration channel should be, how the district administration should take this further, and how the reforms can take place so that the farmers will get his due. Sri Aji Agrawal, the floor is all yours. So, Dr. Saab, you need to unmute yourself. I will also take a minute to congratulate Sri Aji Agrawal, who has been given the PhD, the doctorate, Upadhi from the world famous Amity University. So, R.J. Agrawal we have educated too many people. Now he himself is a doctor, R.J. Agrawal. So, welcome, Dr. R.J. Agrawal.
मेरा प्रणाम आप सबके नाम। मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
बिल्कुल सर।
विनोद, धन्यवाद। Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Good governance can make any country a developed country, and without good governance, whatever we plan, it may take much longer time or it may be difficult. I myself will restrict the subject to agriculture, the farmers, and what can be contributed if right kind of inputs are provided, farmers are provided right price they produce, they are provided water supply, finance at the time of need, and infrastructure. So friends, I know how much time to me, so I will try to sum up in that time.
So 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay, thank you. So friends, I will start our economy comparing with Japan, which was destroyed in 1945 during Second World War, and we got independence in 1947. Today we are 100 years behind than Japan. In 91, we de-licensed our donkey and industry was open. And similar time, China also started opening up their economy. And today we are also maybe behind. I don't know how many years to say, 50 years or 100 years than China. But figure and data will say where we are today. Our overall economy is just you can say 20% in comparison to China. China GDP $18 trillion, and our total economy is around $4 trillion. We have not touched, but we are sure to cross this year. And out of this agriculture, I come to agriculture. Our agriculture area is 30% more than China. Our rainfall is 30% more than China. But our GDP is 1/3 from China. Then definitely question will arise why it is so. If Chinese farmer has come from different satellite or some other moon or something, or our farmers are not working, it's not right that our farmers are very hard worker and they are sweating in their fields. Then why it is 1/3? This question will definitely arise. The answer now I'm coming. Number one, new technology is not reaching to our farmers. When initially in 60s our green revolution came, at that time government was having a very good program TNV, in short, training and visit. At that time government officials were visiting the farmers and giving them the training, and that was the one of the biggest reason of getting that green revolution successful in Haryana, Punjab and Western UP. So first thing, technology should reach to our farmers. Number two, soil health. Our soil health, where biomass should be minimum 1%, our biomass has come around 0.5, 0.6%, and this biomass can be increased by compost fertilizer. Today with mechanization, compost is not available as required. So this can be substituted by green manuring, which farmers are forgetting, and that is very, very important. And the most important is whatever is the farm waste, instead of firing that, that should be converted into the biofertilizer in the field itself. Then today microbial fertilizers has come, and we have to use them in balance. Regarding only urea use, our policy has been like that, we have given subsidy on urea and has not given to other fertilizers. Until as whatever deficit in your field, you use that fertilizer, you will not get the desired result. So soil health should be taken care, and actual fertilizer usage should be maybe NPK or micro or macro fertilizers as per need of the soil. Number three comes seed and seed treatment. Our government has started a very big campaign, eradication of polio. And in 2007 we started with government, हर बच्चे को पोलियो का टीका, हर 20 को सुरक्षा का टीका. That program we could run only 1 year. GS changed. The program was closed by the government, but we private sector are continuing the same seed treatment program. And in seed also, how much seed replacement rate is there? How much hybrid seeds are there? When GM seeds is a matter of controversy in this country. We can import GM oil, but when it comes to the country for GM mustard, there is lot of hue and cry. We got BT cotton at that time. Our farmers' cotton yield doubled, but now due to whatever law or policies, there was no further BT. New gene was developed, and now this BT cotton has developed resistance, and again we are not getting that yield which initial stage when this technology came in 2001. Some people talk about the income done by that country. Why we forget that our farmers' income also has doubled? So we should see our growth, our development. Should not be worried if by technology, whosoever has developed the technology, he is making money. Technology development is very, very costly. I like to share, for developing a new pesticide, it takes 10 to 12 years time and investment of 2,500 to 3,000 crores rupees. That is a reason in the world now very few selected multinational companies has left. Last year was big consolidation, though DuPont merger or by Monsanto, FMC came in, or so many mergers has happened because they themselves are finding it difficult to afford this type of money. Our government should not depend only on technology outside. Our government should allocate funds. Our Honorable Prime Minister gave slogan in 2019 while speaking in National Science Congress on 3rd January at LPU. He added Jai Anusandhan in the slogan, already slogan given by Honorable Shastri, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, and further our Prime Minister Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee in 2002, Jiang and Jai Anusandhan. But what is our Anusandhan R&D budget? It is just around half percent in comparison to developed countries who are spending 4 and 5%. If our universities don't have money for R&D, then how we expect? My recommendation will be to government that institution like NCN, CICT, such institution given allotment of budget for starting the research of new pesticide in our country. Whatever new pesticide comes to our country, that is either from US or Japan or German. Why we should be depend? Why we should not also develop our own technology which we can use, which can be economical to our farmers and we can export? It's a matter of pride. Today we have become the second largest exporter of pesticide, achieving $5.5 trillion while taking this position from US second position, and US export was as per data 5.4. We can become number one pesticide exporter if whatever are the lacunas which can be removed by the government. Government has called this champion sector, but not allocating or supporting. Earlier, private sector was given 200% deduction on the R&D investment of the R&D approved by DST, but that's withdrawn. One side we want development R&D, Prime Minister says, and no. Neither government is spending money nor allowing private sector support. So how Anusandhan will happen? We have just 330 pesticides available in the country. What 1200 pesticides? Out of these 300, many are outdated. And our farmers have very few choice. In 2021 there was 2021 there was attack of this black thrips on chilies, and 9 lakh acre crops of chili was damaged, and the major reason was chemical laced biopesticide. Actually they were calling biopesticide, but they were chemical laced pesticide, and it has proved by Karnataka government by drawing 250 sample of such pesticide, and some pesticides were having cocktail of 10 to 12 pesticides. What is this? After proving the government 10 to 12 pesticide and even some pesticide imported, which are not registered in our country, so it is clear that they are smuggled, and large scale smuggling of pesticide happening in our country. Once upon a time, our country was known paradise for gold smugglers. Today it has become paradise for pesticide smugglers. $200 per kilo product is imported by declaring misdeclaration at $2. And how much government is losing the revenue? It is something like penny wise pound foolish. Such people may be earning few thousand crores of rupees, but our farmers are suffering lakhs and lakhs of crore rupees crop losses. So until we give new technology, new tools to our farmers, mechanization, right price, competitive price. Today what price we give to our farmers? Every sector has been opened. But agriculture government tried to make 3 laws, but due to some activist forces, they were withdrawn. Now, if central government has withdrawn, it's a state subject. Why state cannot make their laws that farmer is free to sell his produce wherever he get better price? But such laws are not there. If really we want to make our country in future, the way our population is increasing and land is shrinking, and we don't want food crisis in our country, or as well as in future we can become the export hub, because today our GDP is one third in agriculture in comparison to China. There is no region we cannot reach to China's per hectare income, subject to whatever roadblocks are there. This duplicate, spurious, smuggled. Government is also looking thousands of crores rupees duty. So my humble submission, agriculture should be relooked. New PMB 2020 made, which is made before COVID, and our Honorable Prime Minister has said after COVID, what will not be the same. So one side we bring this 2023 laws for the safety, but other side PMD is not covered. So my submission lastly will be that we have to take technology to our farmers. We have to provide irrigation with new technology of drip. We have to give them recommendation to use fertilizer soil based. Right seed, why not GM over here? This question arises. When internationally GM is used for the last 20, 35 years, there nothing has happened. What will happen to our country? And why we are using? We are using GM oil which we are importing. So we should relook all our policy and provide competitive, better prices. Otherwise, new generation of farmers are not interested in agriculture. Then imagine what will happen. Who will do agriculture? We have to provide our farmers last the life, good life, better life, which we live in cities, and similar facilities we have to provide to the farmers, and that is possible by providing them not subsidy, but providing them the technology. Either we daily distribute fish, or once we distribute net and give them training of catching the fish. They will catch fish not only for them, but they will catch the fish and sell, export, and our government will income increase. So many people will get employment. So we have to relook our policies for agriculture and make our country and the country, if we want to make in Amrit Kal by 2047 a developed country of $30 trillion, its way will be only from fields, farmers, and villages, and we cannot neglect them and we have to focus on them. Thank you, Vinod. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And I may be sorry if I use something wrong, but this duplicacy in the agri imports is the very, very big nuisance in our country. And in spite of having so many, more than 10,000 inspectors, various laws, they are openly sold. Farmer is openly cheated, and we are also responsible if tomorrow world will ask what we did. We will not have any answer. We all are responsible for present situation of the farmers, and we all have to work together so that all our country and farmers all become prosperous. Dhanyavad. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Agarwal ji. Really, your good strategical and other countries development and why we are not. We want to think about that. Take Vinod ji.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर। इनफैक्ट आने वाले समय में जो 1947 का डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन था और जो अभी 2047 के हम एक जिला प्रशासन के प्रशासनिक स्तर पे जो चीज़ों को बनाने की एक संभावना एक्सप्लोर कर रहे हैं अभी, उसमें एक बड़ा अंतर है। और किस प्रकार से जिले लेवल पे और ब्लॉक लेवल पे ये रिफॉर्म्स आए, मैं चाहूँगा कि हमारे वर्ल्ड कोऑपरेशन इकोनॉमिक फोरम से एक हम ब्रीफ कॉन्सेप्ट नोट इस पे बनाएं, एक वर्किंग पेपर जैसे हम लोग बना रहे हैं, उसी प्रकार से कि हाउ थ्रू डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन रिफॉर्म्स द स्ट्रक्चरल चेंजेस एट डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन कैन टेक प्लेस टू ब्रिंग ए सोशल एंड सॉलिडारिटी इकोनॉमी. So with this note, I'm thanking Sri R.J. Agrawal ji for taking his time. He is not, he's traveling, even though, sir, आप जुड़े हम लोगों के साथ और you educated us, and this platform is with you to take these issues, especially of substandard, counterfeit pesticides, agrochemicals, seeds, and other agro inputs, to the fore. Thanks again, sir. We do have with us so many people joined. I will take a few names. We do have the Deputy CEO of NCUI, Madam Savitri Singh ji. We do have with us Ved Prakash ji. He is Director of NCUI. We do have Ritesh Dey ji. He is also Director of NCUI. Shri Ashish Dwivedi ji, who is a very decorated alumni of Vamnicom. And also, he is Executive Director at National Cooperative Union of India. Dr. Sudhir Kumar Jha, who is not only a young leader but also a scientist, a senior scientist at Indian Council of Agriculture Research. We do have with us Sri Sanjay Verma ji also, who is in NCUI directing the publications and knowledge management in that front, along with a host of other speakers whom I am not able to take their names, Dr. Sapna Chadha from IIPA, Dr. Amit, so many other people whom I cannot take name because the list is very, very long. We are so elated and happy that you all are here. We have with us also from the Dholakia Foundation. You must have heard about Sri Dholakia ji, who is a very famous diamond businessman. So from their foundation, the CEO and his representative is also with us. So with this, other speakers we do have in our kitty is Dr. Sudhir Kumar, Dr. Suresh Mishra ji, Dr. Devi Prasad Juwadi ji, Dr. Ashish Anand, and so many others who are. Please hold your questions, and we do have bounty full of good many speakers with us. So straight away, I will request the director of the Center for Good Governance, Sri Devi Prasad Juwadi ji, who is not only helping in creating the good governance index and in agriculture fora and a person behind agricultural transformation in Telangana. Dr. Devi Prasad ji has also been at his young age a very famous student leader way back in the West Asian region of the globe, and currently he heads agriculture, monitoring and evaluation, and HR department of Center for Good Governance. Sir, we are working on a cooperative index at World Cooperative Economic Forum, and we would like to have an association with you in future. Our team are must be taking care of this. So please educate us on this day that what should be done to bring the cooperative and social and solidarity economy and to make the rural India, very vibrant and shining as the Mahamana, Madan Mohan Malviya ji has thought about, and our beloved Prime Minister have already said, we do remember this, कि भारत कोई एक जमीन का टुकड़ा नहीं बल्कि एक जीता जागता पुरुष है, एक जीता जागता तो भारत माता को उन्होंने वो दर्जा दिया था कि ये कोई सिर्फ जमीन का टुकड़ा नहीं, तो हम उसको ट्रांसफॉर्म करने में लगे हैं और अभी माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के लीडरशिप में हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं। एक कोऑपरेटिव फेडरलिज्म की नई संरचना हुई है, एक नया नया अध्याय शुरू किया गया है। सर, इस बार जो चीफ सेक्रेटरीज कॉन्फ्रेंस होने वाला है दिल्ली में 27-28 अभी दिसंबर को, जो कि एग्रीकल्चर के ऊपर ही आधारित होगा और एग्रीकल्चर का जो कॉम्प्लेक्स नास कॉम्प्लेक्स है वहां उसकी बैठक हो रही है। सो कोऑपरेटिव और एग्रीकल्चर की जो टीम है वो आपस में मिलजुल करके किस प्रकार से एक जो पब्लिक अफेयर्स में जो चेंजेस आ सकते हैं, kindly educate us and please guide us how to take this up. And I request the NCUI team to please take a note that how we can start the campus cooperative in the campus of Center for Good Governance in Telangana can also be thought about. So this, with these words and request, I request Sri Devi Prasad ji humbly to please unmute his mic, and the floor is all yours, Dr. Devi Prasad ji. Sir, please unmute yourself. You are on mute.
Now it's all right.
Yes.
धन्यवाद जी विनोद जी, आप सुन सक रहे हैं?
हाँ सुन सर।
नमस्कार सर, नमस्कार everybody, particularly to Rajveer Sharma ji, who has given a very elaborative, detailed standard economy and what to do, and Ajay Agarwal ji, namaskar ji, and Sangani ji. But I would like to take few minutes, not much. The agriculture sector, particularly in India, has proved to be really bringing the country out of crisis, which we have seen in pandemic times. And pandemic has exposed the existing vulnerabilities, the economies, the market, the opportunities, etc. But yet, we have come out very safely. The globally speaking, the world world, the economy of the agriculture is close to $3 trillion. But in this $3 trillion, most of this economy or share is controlled by 20 corporations in the food value chain, and almost the RG Agarwal ji साहब ने कहा कि the seed and pesticide industries are controlled by hardly 4 to 5 companies. And if you look at the animal husbandry, livestock, world over, only 3 to 4 companies control the market. And the processing of the food, which is taking rampant in the market economy in agriculture, is being about hardly a dozen companies control the processed foods. With all these things, the facts how we can bring the solidarity economy in agriculture sector. The fact of the matter is we have to understand that with the statistics which I just mentioned, few things, almost 70% of the food is produced by small and marginal farmers. When we talk about economies, we have seen the autocracies, democracies, and some kind of cooperatives. The solidarity economy itself is basically talking from the good governance point of view. Not only the points which are highlighted by Rajesh about the diversity, equity, inclusion, of course, like any other good governance practices, they have to be included in the solidarity economy. But solidarity economy has been there in Indian society for a long time because mutuality, reciprocity is very much important in solidarity economy, which we have been practicing from ancient times. I'll give my experience, which I'm not a great fan of communism, but I have been to China a couple of times. There, the autocracy is in democratic manner implementing cooperatives. What I would like to bring to the esteemed gathering here is that unless some kind of collectivization, as mentioned by Rajesh Sharmaji, or aggregation of the farms takes place, the solidarity economy cannot be implemented. Because in solidarity economy, basically, the participation, the mutuality, the equity is very important. Because these mutuality can really give the benefits, can deliver the products, and of course, equality brings prosperity. These are the governance principles, apart from accountability, voice, and all these things. They have to be there. I bring to the attention of the esteemed gathering that let us think. Prime Minister has given a clarion call for the doubling of the farmers' income by 2022. We all were looking for some policy change would come. But unfortunately, the so-called the farm laws have been really withdrawn, and nobody in the country is what kind of shape it should take place, what kind of policy. We all talk about challenges, issues, समस्या बात बहुत बात करते हैं, but a model, either ICR or the government of India or the policymaker, we were unable to give a model for agriculture which would really improve the farmers' income. We talk about technology. How do we अग्रवाल जी बात किया कि टेक्नोलॉजी टेक्नोलॉजी कैसे इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे फील्ड में जब फार्मर्स का एवरेज farm holding is less than 1 hectare? How do we really implement technology? But yet, as I said, people are really producing small and small farmers. So we have to take the technology to small and small farmers. That is possible only through some kind of collectivization, some kind of aggregation of the land holdings. So the World Economic Forum, which is of course next year celebrating the 100 years, or the meetings cooperative ministry they have formed. But my surprise, not many policy shifts and policy changes have come in the agriculture sector, which are very much needed. Because in industry you can do anything. The traditional economy can deliver goods. We will talk about China, for example. But China also, in general economy or in agriculture economy, they are in an autocratic way following the cooperative collectivization and capitalism also. That we should bring into our economy with these things. I would like to thank Bharat and everybody that please once again let us think collectivization. It is the cooperatives, it is the solidarity economy, it is the farmer producer organization, whatever it is. Unless some kind of aggregation of land holdings and land operations and farmers takes place, agriculture cannot survive beyond a decade in this country, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. And we also request Center for Good Governance to send his team under your leadership to Amreli to Gujko Masol in Ahmedabad and to study this and create a
Yeah,
case study
you
of
mentioned that Gujarat experience.
what
Definitely would like to see that, sir.
yes, how they have transformed themselves, especially in all spheres, not only in the economical side and the banking side, but also the marketing of their produce, and it's just a cooperative with a corporate heart,
Yes.
is what Gujko Masol is.
No, but Sarvani sir, you are right. Why not you do the replication, at least replication, one or two in each state, so that we can really see success and then it can be upscaled.
Definitely, sir. This is the aim of World Cooperation Economic Forum to integrate the minds. Sanghani ji is very much here, and I request from Center for Good Governance to, and even from the next speaker, Dr. Suresh Mishra ji, to please think about and to create a case study of cooperatives, a series of case studies, a successful model for social and solidarity economy, uh, which can talk globally, not the nationally. Sri Arjigwal want to say something.
Before I leave,
Sir.
I like to say not umbrella. Oh, Gujarat is full of parallel, duplicate, spurious, smuggled pesticide industry. If our Dilip Bhai is from Amreli, so it is not in Amreli such products are not sold. And our Divedi, any part of the country, if they want to start some study or something, we are ready to provide full support in the interest of the farmers that such duplicate smuggled products should be stopped earliest and farmers should get genuine product, and whatever support is required, I'm ready to offer anywhere in India. BOG, you are talking Amreli, you want Amreli, we can support in Amreli also. Any district, anywhere in the country, we will be happy to support to eradicate this nuisance. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome your suggestion. We will use your idea and for power in for country. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Now I will request in this series to Dr. Suresh Mishra ji, son of Ganga Kinare, Allahabad, has moved to Delhi, JNU. He has been alumni of JNU, the very decorated alumni of JNU, I must say. And now he is not only heading the Center for Consumer Studies at Indian Institute of Public Administration, but also been responsible so many times to run the APA course, the famous APA course of Indian Institute of Public Administration, where he trained. Here he has trained already, I think, last to last year, the whole brigade of the Indian Army, and also so many other very ultra senior officials. Indian Institute of Public Administration, you know, is a replica and is a place through which the Indian administration are getting trained. And sir, on this day of the good governance, how we can go further ahead, to take bigger steps, I will say Hanuman to create a culture of solidarity economy. What the administrator have not learned so far about the electronic trading of the market and the reforms in marketplace, especially in the agricultural space, and how the consumers and the the rural India can be connected in a innovatively. And certainly there are so many challenges which the district administration is facing through. From the book of SS Thera, which he has written in 1963, until now there is no serious examination of aspects and multi-dimensional approach what the district administration should have. There is no book as such except a few journals of IIPA, Institute of Public Administration. Please educate us, sir, and how through World Cooperation Economic Forum, especially the kind of reforms in cooperative sector and in the administration of various social and the economy initiatives of the Honorable Prime Minister, what he has envisioned post G20 also, and in the March of 2047 can take place. Over to you, Dr. Suresh Minsra.
Thank you, Vinodji. First of all, thank you for inviting me to this very important discussion that you have organized. Respected Dilipji and Agrawal Sahab and other distinguished panelists. And I think that Dr. Rajvi Sharma has put things in a very right perspective about the district administration that and the solidarity economy and others. I think it was a very, very uh, enlightening keynote address. And I think he has covered a lot of things that are important. If you look at the what Dr. Agarwal has talked about, I think there is no doubt that the agriculture universities, their extension programs have really declined, and for lab to form, it really is not at what it was, say, 20 years back. I have a lot of friends in the agriculture universities. In fact, nobody wants to go to the field, and they send their students because they have to send somebody there. But I think we have to reorient these things, because too much of cushioning of the faculty that has taken place in the not only in the agriculture universities but other universities also. I don't remember anything, can't recall any central university which the government has set up all across. They have even adopted one village to in their area. The new central universities are all located in remote areas. I had an opportunity to visit the Kerala Central University, and after having gone there, I regretted. It's such a tough job to reach there, and you find that none of these universities even adopt one village in their neighborhood to really work on and see how rural development can take place or study the various facets of rural development that is taking place. So I think the one is the orientation of these institutions of higher education that really needs to be changed. Everybody talks of rural development. Everybody talks of people's participation, but really, if you look at what is happening, it's something very pitiable that so much of money is being spent in the universities, and all that you get is a army of graduates, undergraduates who really don't have the skills that are really needed. Why do we talk about the state universities? Look at the central universities that have there. Except for construction, I visit many of these central universities for interviews and other things. Except for construction, what do you see there? You hardly find any innovative academic program coming up. Every university just wants to open BA and BSc, but not looking at the syllabus of these the courses that are being designed. The new education policy talks so much about technology, innovation in and pedagogy and other things, but is it really happening? So one aspect is looking at these institutions of higher education and ensuring that they at least adopt one village in their neighborhood and work in those villages over a period, sustained period of say 15, 20 years, and see some of the emerge as models. Today, you don't have a model that you can talk about. What you're talking in Gujarat, and I think what Agarwal Saab said is true. We have done some work on the fake pesticides, but it's there across the country. It's not that you find only in certain areas. So, uh, duplicate fake pesticides, these are doing more harm than what is really being done by the pesticides that is being used, not only industry but the country as such. Now, coming to the district administration, the district administration whole orientation has changed over a period. If you look at, we have been we have a small project where we are looking at the how the whole phase of the collector himself has changed. What is collector's role today is more of a public relations exercise that he does. Whole day he is only receiving or attending to these so-called VIPs, and there's nothing that happens really at the so, collector, poor man, in spite of all his best intentions, his qualifications, his well meaning intentions, he is left with hardly any work that is to be there. You go to any district, you try to meet the collector, you can never meet him. But if a third rate MLA also comes, he is taken inside as if something very, say, a great VIP has come and he's the one who's really going to transform the system. Our research teams have been struggling to meet collectors even in the neighborhood districts in spite of having taken time from them. So the question is, what are we trying to look at a district? Is it simply trying to download whatever programs are coming from the central government and then just somehow make statistics? And uh, we worked on some of the good governance indices in one of our uh, IAPA. Some professors worked on that. And the states, I won't name the state, but the state which is now doing well really has no proper statistics to match the statistics that are in the state capital. They don't exist in the district headquarters of the same district. So there is so much of mismatch between district. I mean, the data that has come, been collected by the state government from the same district, and there's change. So the question is, we have lost the habit of having the district gazetteers, which were really written so well, and they continue to have a lot of value today. But the how do you store data that is there, and that an authentic data that the district should have? So the collector, is I think his role needs to be redefined. It's not the old role that the collector has, because I think with the coming of Panchayati Raj institutions, the role should have changed of the collector, but it continues to be almost the same. In fact, it has declined. He hardly has any leadership role now. But I said that the best you can redesignate him as the public relations officer of the district, because it was, as I said, in spite of all his qualifications and his interest, he has no time for the meetings, and public relations are the only two things that the collector has. So we need to look at the specific role, seriously redefine the role of district collector. He is also district magistrate, he is also commissioner, he has so many roles to play, which maybe at a time it was okay, but today I think that's not there. District is important because that's the first point of contact for the citizens in terms of service delivery and others. And with the enabling technology, I think it is becoming much easier to. The other thing that I would like to touch upon, because I would not like to take much point, there are other speakers, is the role of Panchayati Raj institutions themselves. Now, if you really look at the volume of these elected people and the role that is assigned for Panchayati Raj and the list that is there, you find these are all scavenging job that they have, nothing more. A choti se, what the urban municipality does, it's small municipality, that is the role defined for these panchayats. Now, they also need to be changed. See, if you look at the cooperatives, I don't see any convergence point between cooperatives and panchayats. I spent some time in Israel and I saw that the local governments are also the cooperatives. And I've seen some visited some of them. They had so many commercial functions that they were performing as a cooperative they were doing. So why can't we think of our panchayats also something that apart from doing scavenging work of getting the road clean, this clean, putting tube lights, which anyway it is not in their control because it's the officials who control all these things. It may be on paper that panchayats do it, but it's all unless a BDO sanctions anything, the sarpanch can't do anything. He has no power at all. So why can't they have something where the panchayats have some, at least the good ones, wherever you see that the cooperative has been successful, the panchayats are also equally successful, whether it is Gujarat, it is Maharashtra, Karnataka, or Andhra. So I think some symbiotic relationship can be developed between the cooperatives and panchayats. The government they are promoting one district, one product. Now, what is the role of the district in that, in terms of collecting it, marketing it, and then selling it? District has no role. My district in Uttar Pradesh, that's the Pratapgarh district, is well known for amla. And what is happening there? They grow a lot of amla, good amla is growing, and that's for many years. And you have so many small self-help groups who would collect, buy that amla and process it, murabba वगैरह बना के उसको बेचते थे. But now what has happened is all these big companies manufacturing these Ayurvedic products, they all are taking away the good ones from there, most of them. And the rich farmers, the people who have really huge amla farm, they are the ones who are making money. And earlier, those who were dependent on that, they have almost been pushed out because they can't afford to compete with them. So it's nice to have these programs, but then you should also have some mechanism where the local people, local population is able to benefit from there. Unless you are able to ensure that the local population benefits, I think many of these programs will lose their local charm and people will lose interest into these things. So, what I am trying to say is look at the role of district collector today, that it is there and it needs to be changed. I think you just can't say that this should be his role, but a very deep study and a committee has to really look into it. And then the role of the Panchayati Raj, it also needs to be changed. It's not simply झाड़ू लगाना, ये करना, वो करना, because practically the district administration still controls everything. You may see on paper that certain panchayats, maybe in some states panchayats are doing well somewhere, but I think in most of the states these are bodies which have really lost their whole their relevance, except for they are elected and they are there. And what are we transferring? The corruption that exists at the center and the state, we are only decentralizing corruption that to the local level at the panchayat level. So I think we need the institutional mechanisms that are existing. We really need to give a relook at them and ensure that so much of money is being spent on upkeep of these institutions. They perform better, they do better. So thank you, Vinod. That is in brief. I just wanted to make some 2, 3 points. But I think you have done a great job by organizing this webinar. And thank you. You are always active, motivating all of us who are. Thank you so. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for not only for these words but the kind appreciation, which I am going to transfer to my team, especially Rohit. He is online. He has done very tremendous work since last 3, 4 days to keeping everyone alert and creating all stuffs and networking with all of you. I must thank you, sir, by the bottom of my heart, and request to you that through this association, that World Cooperation Economic Forum, which is the only the globally first effort to bring cooperators at one platform. There is no platform except there was an ICA, International Cooperative Alliance, but that was not catering to the need of the south to south dialogue. So we are here to create a very vibrant south to south dialogue and preparing ourselves for International Year of Cooperative, which is going to in 2025 United Nations is going to take place. Also, the next year there is a future summit which will also held at United Nations, and the organization which one of the organizations which I represent, where you all are associated either, is Confederation of NGOs of Rural India, where we are in special consultative status with ECOSOC United Nations. So through that we will represent our thoughts over there and participate actively. We do have with this with us, sir. Next is Ashish
Before
Anand.
that, I would just like to apologize
Please.
to Agrawal sir. In spite of the request, I have not been able to really conduct the study of fake pesticides. But I'm sure maybe in coming days we'll be able to take up such a study. I'm sorry I have not been able to.
Definitely, sir. Definitely, sir.
The last 2 years he has been asking me to expand my study that was done earlier. But I'm sure that we should be able to do that because I think the menace is too much now. Thank
Thank you,
you.
sir. And let us take it in a multi-dimension. Let us do this in this way that some index can be prepared, especially when it comes to the cooperative approach, cooperative economic framework. That could be one important effort. Globally, there are reports published, but that doesn't cater to the uh, that part of the globe, the southern part of the globe where we belong to. Even in the last three report by the Secretary General of the United Nations doesn't have a word India in their report. Even though we have 26 crores of people, that is 290 million people members as in cooperative, and we are the one of the world largest network of the when it comes to the cooperative, and also have we do have world largest cooperative, and chairman is sitting with us. The IFCO is a world largest cooperative by all means, but our India word is not mentioned anywhere in the three reports, what last three consecutive reports, what Secretary General submits to the United Nations as in for the cooperative sector. So this is what where we is a challenge to the academicians, to the all of us, to take this the cooperative thing further. Ashish Anandji, are you there? Yes. Ashish Anandji is a startup, which fintech startup, which I will, who is spreading our cooperative and social and solidarity economy differently. He's the one who is a face of the blockchain technology when it comes to the Indian agriculture and the marketing and warehouse system. Ashish is heading WHR loans and marketing the farmers produce in a different way. He gives e-warehouse receipt and loans to the farmer in 15 minutes without going to any bank branch and innovative things. So Ashish, we all want to listen your experience on this day of good governance. I think Mahamana Madan Mohan Malviya and Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji must be blessing you for this effort what you have taken. And also Mahatma Gandhi ji must have blessed you. You are the one who have created a Gram Swarajya and integrated with technology, that is a blockchain. Ashish is India's largest blockchain executor and a startup. He has been working in this field since last 5-7 years. And a young boy, from Bihar, how he has taken these things up, and how your experience can be gained to the multitudinal aspect throughout the district administration reforms. So over to you, Ashish. The floor is all yours. After that, we will listen the Deputy CEO of the National Cooperative Union of India, Ms. Savitri Singh. Over to you, Dr. Ashish.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and it's really great to listen to the views we have been hearing since last almost 2 hours about how district administration and role of how district administration can play the role in solidarity economy. So, so I would just, as you mentioned, that we are working with the blockchain technology and implementation. We have been at the forefront of implementation of blockchain in agriculture sector. And now the interesting part about blockchain is that it's, as we call it, it's a decentralized technology. And so what solidarity economy is all about? It's decentralization. It's about connecting various people around the globe, around the communities. Sorry, there was a network problem, but I hope that I'm audible. So it's all about the solidarity economy is about creating decentralized communities. Using those decentralized communities' internal governance structure as the as the base of economy and as the base of economic unit, I would say. So if I talk about so Milton Friedman in 1970 declared in his Friedman, he's one of the topmost economists, a Nobel Prize winner, and he declared one thing. He said the social responsibility of the business is to increase profit. And that is what we have been talking about. We have been thinking that that is what businesses are all about. At the same time, when we talk about cooperative economies, we always have this that the cooperative economy is not about only earning profits, rather it is about social growth and the community growth. What happened to that Milton Friedman's declaration, what we call a Friedman principle, that within his lifetime and within 40 to 50 years of that declaration, even the capitalist world is not talking about profit maximization or shareholder wealth maximization anymore. The needle has moved towards stakeholder value maximization or stakeholder value creation, where the profit is not the only goal, but profit is one of the goals. And it is one of the goals to create welfare for the people who are working in the influence of that capitalistic channel called the company. So it is now about managing the shareholders, managing the community of the suppliers, and also managing the community from where they are sourcing, which means a sustainable growth, a growth which is focused on the principles of DEI, which we heard about in the morning, which is diversification, equality, and inclusion. So what we are seeing now that the cooperation, what the fundamentals of cooperation movement was, which was about creating social impact, is actually being adopted and is being part of the integral part of the capitalistic economy as well. So we are seeing 100, I would say rather a 360-degree change in the way how we have looked at businesses. So businesses were typically looked at centralized in a very centralized focused format. But now the both in technological sphere as well as social and business sphere, we are saying that the movement is towards decentralization. And that is where the community building approaches are coming in. And from that perspective, if I talk about that, what can be the role of social, what can be the role of district administration, because that is how we have seen that when we started working in the state of Maharashtra, how the support of the administrative sector allowed us to implement this technology for the betterment of the lives of the farmers. So in a world where the economies are moving towards the cyclical forces of decentralization, it becomes highly important for India, a country like India, which is, of course, we are somewhere at number five today. But I would like to bring one factor here, that on PPP, which is uh, the purchasing power parity factor, we are number three economy of the world. So while it looks like that in terms of nominal GDP, we are somewhere like a $4 trillion economy, but actually because we are a inward-looking economy as well, so we are number three economy of the world already. So how do we further grow towards creating a perhaps a number two economy of the world in terms of PPP and number three economy in the GDP nominal world? It becomes imperative for all of us, and especially on this Good Governance Day, to bring the principles of solidarity, whether it is cooperative, whether it is FPC governance, on board, and use that as the basic framework for the purpose of delivering value addition as well as delivering growth at the grassroots level. And in that, of course, because as we heard in the morning, that district administration is the administration which actually reaches out to the people. So, in my opinion, it is the interactive arm, it is the visible arm. The citizens of India actually interact with the either panchayati level or they interact with the district level of administration. And that's our interactive arm. That is where the policies are implemented. So when we talk about policies of the implementation of the policies, right now cooperative framework is coming up. Rural economy has been the focus of the current government. Agriculture growth has been on the cards, and we have been working very well towards achieving that growth in last 10 years. So if these policies which are coming up in cooperative sector, for which, as our chairman Sanghani ji mentioned, that uh, it was created, a ministry was created for the first time in the history of India to focus on cooperative sector. So if we have to implement those framework, the most critical role will be played by the district administration itself. And in that, I have a certain suggestions. Of course, that I would like to take three aspects over here. One is that which is related to agriculture. So, in the agriculture industry, if we talk about the role of packs, which was very critical earlier, and as we are talking about from packs to apex, so that role has to be brought forward at the district administration level. Typically, we have seen that packs could not perform well and they got neglected over a period of time. So we have to work at the district administration level. That how do we make sure that packs, and as per in line with the government's policy, become the decentralized storage system for the agriculture. How they how they become the how they become and play the pivotal role, and also become the technology link between the farmers and the administration, using packs as a marketplace, using packs as a and connecting those marketplaces, individual packs marketplaces, to a global marketplace or a pan India marketplace. So that role, that promotion role, has to be played by the district administration, and it can be done only at the district administration level. How a focused promotion, in my opinion, if a budget can be allocated at the district administration level, plus if it can become part of the a part of the focused approach of the administrators at the district level, that will be one in the agriculture sector. Second, I would like to talk about the role of the district administration in bringing an important role of cooperative banks. So, in India, 94% of banks by number, and that is a surprising number for even people who are from the banking industry, that 94% of the banks are cooperative banks. But only 2% of the total, 2 to 2.5% of the total banks' deposits are into the cooperative sector. And of course, government, which is a very large depositor for many, through their schemes and budgets, actually speaking, hardly finds cooperative sectors. We don't find cooperative banks being part of that government deposit ecosystem. Even though today that money goes towards private bank and gets deposited in private banks as well. So in my opinion, there are two roles which can be played by the district administration to strengthen cooperative banks at the cooperative level, at the district level. One is giving them prominence, and they play the most prominent part. The cooperative banks through the DCC structure play the most prominent part in dissemination of agriculture loans. So how we can also use the district level banking committees to provide these cooperative banks, strengthen them by providing them deposits, and also how we can use them for dissemination of funds which are being routed through other banks, including nationalized and private banks. That will help in strengthening the balance sheet of these cooperative banks, and will help them further to distribute more and more credit towards the needy in the agriculture and, of course, in the development economy at the grassroots level. And the third part, which I would like to talk about, is how do we create a preferential economic structure for the organizations in the solidarity economy, which is cooperatives or FPOs. So if we talk about government policies, we have policy exemption for MSMEs. In terms of, we have policy exemption for startups, for participating in government tenders, for participating in government schemes. But we don't have such sort of a preferential treatment for the cooperative institutions. We don't have such, I'm talking about cooperative economic institutions. So the core idea is that if such sort of cooperative economic institutions, whether they are, say for example, a small manufacturing unit can be promoted under that, or a cluster of industries can be promoted under the cooperative sector, and that can be done at the district level, district administration level. That will be really helpful in diversifying the focus of cooperative sector from agriculture to many more other aspects of the industry, which we have seen in several parts of the world. In Europe, many large organizations are under the cooperative umbrella. Many other than in banking and agriculture. Similarly, in the US, there are many large cooperative manufacturing units as well. In India, we don't see, I mean, of course, other than sugar mills, we don't see much of the focus on that. If we can have at the local level, at the district level, such sort of promotion activities for these economies, for the units which are under cooperative economy, that will be really helpful. So summarize, focus on promotion of packs as decentralized storage and e-commerce platform for the farmers, strengthening the role of cooperative banks through the district level banking committees, and finally giving them specific policy matters and implementation of that at the district level for the cooperative economic units. So that, in my opinion, will help create a governance structure which is focused on growth as well as which is focused on DEI, especially the equitable growth in line with the government's policies. And that's where the district administration will be playing one of the most stellar roles it can play. So thanks a lot, and I'm really thankful for everyone to participate. And from the World Cooperation Economic Forum, this is the first webinar which we have organized We will be organizing many more webinars, and we will be also bringing many more. We will be also bringing many more publications under this umbrella. And stay connected with us. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Ashish. We welcome Vinod Mishra ji and Adarsh Mohan also. They have joined and listening to our delegation. So thank you, Vinod Mishra ji and Adarsh Mohan ji for joining us. Adarsh Mohan ji is also co-founder with us of World Cooperation Economic Forum. I request now Mr. Shashank, if Mr. Shashank, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Yes. Before we listen, Dr. Savitri Singh ji, can you please help us in understanding how the campus cooperative and at higher education places can be a landmark for the Indian cooperative movement? Shashank? Shashank is from IIT Roorkee, and he is an entrepreneur helping startups with ideas and getting implemented through social sector, especially people from Kashmir, and farmers from Karnataka and other places. And he is also associated with CII and an integral part of World Cooperation Economic Forum. Shashank, briefly, please tell us about how to go ahead on the campus cooperative and the related aspect. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. I am sharing my screen for all of you to have a small view on a report that was generated by Colonel Buchanan after the Mysore War. In this report, Colonel Buchanan had clearly mentioned that Tipu Sultan could raise funds for fighting the British because Tipu Sultan's agricultural practices were way above the current normal. Without any biotechnology seeds, without any machinery, he had resources to develop agriculture to that level that per acre productivity of rice in his farmlands was in excess of 630 kgs per acre per year. Today, with the best of technology, we are unable to match that. Here are the numbers. Now, Exim Bank is promoting one district, one product. The government of India is pushing farmers of every district to promote one product that becomes a billion-dollar industry in the future. But nobody is talking about value addition. Nobody is talking about technology transfer. Nobody is talking about how to link markets and help farmers become rich. For example, in the state of Mysore, in the state of Karnataka, there are various districts, and the district of Bangalore rural has been mandated with the task of developing poultry feed and poultry products as the one district, one product initiative. Sadly, there has been no technology transfer, there has been no feed that has been subsidized, and farmers are being pushed to sell whatever is produced at a subsidized rate outside to meet the targets. Lychee farmers in Muzaffarpur, in Bihar, are suffering because they don't have packaging facilities that will elongate the shelf life of lychees. Now, there is an urgent need for all the institutions of higher learning to share resources, to share research reports, and make them available at a very nominal cost to cooperative societies for them to develop products based on the research that was carried out maybe at some other place which is relevant to the problem at hand in their areas. Tomato is wasted at Kolar in Karnataka, not because there is no market, but because there is no processing facility. And cooperatives like IFCO, cooperatives like Reve should take a step and help these farmers develop the infrastructure that is required to create sauce, jam, and other bottling plants. This is my 2 cents. and I volunteer to assist anybody in this initiative.
Thank you, Shashank.
My pleasure, sir.
So, thank you very much. I request you to develop this as a note and send it to us,
Sir.
especially to our chairman, Sri Dilip Sanghani ji, so that we can take this further. I think everybody has listened to you very carefully. Uh, I would not lose the time in between after Shashank, very good statement that during Mysore war, it was due to agriculture. That person was, at, very empowered enough to take the bull by the horns. Now, this is a time also when the rural India is growing up, and I request now the Deputy Chief Executive of the National Cooperative Union of India, and she is also a member of the International Cooperative Alliance in some committee. I have forgotten. I think Women's Committee, the Gender Equity Committee. So, Savitri Singh ji, to please educate us very briefly. Over to you.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not going to make any speech. I'm just giving some input. And I'm a member of the Agriculture Committee of ICA Asia and the Pacific, not the Gender Committee.
Thank you for correcting.
So, good afternoon to respected Sanghani ji and all the dignitaries and experts, my colleagues from MCY, and of course Vinod Anand ji for organizing such a grand talk show, I would say. And so thank you for giving me this opportunity to listen to very informative and insightful thoughts. Attending this event is very educative for me personally. So I heard Sanghani ji has put it very aptly that good governance is a collective responsibility and coordinated efforts by all stakeholders and people at the helm of the affairs is crucial. And as I was listening to all the speakers and some comparison was also mentioned, and then Vinod Anand ji mentioned that in certain documents of certain organization the India name was not mentioned. So here is a happy news I want to share with you all that the G20 presidency of India is recently completed and it was transferred to Brazil. Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
very much.
Yeah. So Brazil, so this is a good news to share with you that under the leadership of Sanghani ji, we could mobilize the entire Indian cooperative movement, and we met the Sherpa and we were invited in all the meetings and groups of the G20, that is B20, C20, Y20 and W20 related to business, youth and women. And to our pleasant surprise and to our, we are very glad that the cooperative sector got very wide coverage under the final report and policy document of the G20 recommendations. So this is a very good news. And if cooperatives are mentioned, agriculture is already there. And they mentioned about the role of cooperatives as a business organization having a lot of potential to provide employment to youth and women. And of course, farmers are there, and then the financial aspect of the cooperatives are also recognized by this report. So, having sharing that good news, I would like to make quickly 2 points only. That due to my experience in working with IC Asia and the Pacific and in India also, and I got the, thanks to cooperative sector, I got the opportunity to travel to the length and breadth of the country, and I have reached to nook and corner of the country and villages and projects. So I had some feeling about and some knowledge about the grassroots reality of what is happening in the agriculture sector and the cooperatives, of course. So I would like to say that India has best sets of law, but the implementation is always a perennial issue. And in this platform, and tried to, at the various speakers I was hearing, they tried to address this issue only, that how to implement the best sets of law and policy we are having to improve our productivity and to increase the income of the farmers and to bring wealth to the country. So this is one. But what I very seriously feel that uh, mm, we the world is talking about safety, food security, and then the world is talking about food sovereignty. So in India, we need to focus on addressing the issues around food safety, security, and also sovereignty. But most importantly is safety. And this safety issue is very important because um, the farmers are not very well aware, or they have this un not they are not very well trained, or they have certain other issues, I don't know. But then widely we see that uninformed, careless use of pesticides, herbicides, fertilizer, etc., poses threat to food safety and hampers our prospects of export in agriculture sector. We are not able to export as much potential we have. So I would just like to share one example that Japan is only 40% food secure country. Their food sovereignty is only 40%. They are importing 60% of food from Philippines, Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, and other smaller countries. But I have no data and that how much they are importing from India. So this is the point I would like to mention, that we as a policy makers, we as a cooperative, or we are as a think tank, we must pay attention to our food safety. Thank you very much, Mr. Anand.
Thank you. Quickly, I would like to answer your queries raised. Certainly, in the G20 and other multilateral meetings, we do have recognitions. Every year, United Nations General Assembly, this is the 78th General Assembly, and there is a resolution named 76 oblique 135 of the UN General Assembly, through which Secretary General submits a report under agenda of social development, in cooperative in social development, basically. And in that report, this I will send you a copy of the report 2023. India name, Indian cooperative recognition is nowhere else mentioned. This is the 2023 report, dated 17th July. You will also surprised to know that this is Mongolia has moved a resolution for International Year of Cooperative, which we are going to celebrate in 2025. Even in 2022 report, in the month of July 76th, 2021 report of cooperative in social development through the United Nations General Assembly, India has no place, no mention, and that's the cause to worry. That is why we have here to and talking about the how to take things further. With help of you, we will come to you to take this, the kind of developmental activities we have mentioned about under the leadership of a common leadership. Sanghaniji is our chairman either, so that is the one clarification. Second thing is about the pesticide. You see, we do have registered in our country 293 number of molecules so far. The whole globe, that is 1128 molecules are registered globally. Japan has 700, Pakistan have around 600, and this is the status. China has all of them, 1129. So it is not the use of pesticide, it is the unavailability of quality pesticide which is cause to worry, and that is why we are not able to become the exporting nations, and the way Japanese and these people are. This is a different debate, and we are bringing up a report on this to World Cooperative Economic Forum very soon. How the this agri input things can be transformed in a different way. We had mentioned about that in a discussion with Suresh Misraji. So that's about these things. Thank you very much, Savitri ji, for participating and and educating us on this aspect. one point, very important point is being left over here, which I want to raise with the permission of chair. We are getting late, but if you will allow me, the chair will allow me, I will take 5 minutes. There are around 1,126 university, 1126 universities in the country. 56 are central universities, 482 are state universities, 124 are deemed to be university. So in total, 1126 government-led universities are there, and there are it also includes the the universities under various state rules. It doesn't include the agricultural universities. That is also around 86 universities are there, 73 under ICR system, and the rest of them are in a different way. Under different act, like IIT also have one biotechnology center, so that is also being counted as an agricultural university in that agricultural space as such. But when it comes to cooperative campus initiatives, because one very important agenda and task for us is to take this cooperative among youths. Youths in the sense where not only the school going and college going people, but also to the higher education places where Delhi Central University and State University and deemed to university are very much with UGC. So if to this house, if it permits and there is a resolution, we can take this campus cooperative. Every campus should have cooperative. I think many of them are being, Singhani ji is uh, aware of that few of the universities are having. That can be multiplied. Even you can see when the onions were at a very high price, the association like NCCF was standing in the front of IITA gate and in Delhi at various places and making these commodities available. If we can have a regular place where this cooperative ideas can be churned out, then the social and solidarity will take a different flow. So that is one aspect where all of us should work in association and take this thing further. If anyone wants to say something, especially if my chairman wants to say something, or else anyone, please, you are most welcome. Campus cooperative. I think there is an absolute consensus.
May I add, sir, with your
Please
permission,
proceed.
in the permission of chair?
Please.
Thank you. Sir, as a student of, as a
One
student
more
of
second. Sir,
economics,
sir,
what I've
sir wants
seen.
to say something.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yes, sir. Dilip sir, you want to say something?
Vinodji, can I say something?
Please, sir.
It's a good idea what you're suggesting. I think that will take the cooperative down to the student level. My only thing is that, uh, even an institution like IAP has a employees cooperative. Now, why don't they run the, the canteen, the mess? Why these cooperatives are not, they are not given to manage these things? I think in some institutions I have seen where the employee cooperatives also manage the hostel and other things, and the cost comes down substantially from the market that it is there. But I think if we can also pass a resolution that many of these, wherever you have employee cooperatives, now why our employee cooperative could not sell onions and some other cooperative had to come and make it available right in front of our gate. So I think if we are planning to decentralize, we have to decentralize at the level that it is feasible and workable. So that's my point. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Enjoy on hostel, we have given the training, we have taught some university also some courses, loan extra. But now central government is taking the new cooperative university. We are waiting for that.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for that. And I think Ved Prakash ji has taken a note of what Professor Suresh Mitra has offered, the employees cooperative, how those employee cooperatives of IIPA can be trained and can be bring together with the uh, NCY system. That is one thing which Ved Prakash ji. You want to say something, Ved Prakash ji?
Yes, may I permit to say something?
Please, sir.
I think from this, the NCI is apex body of the cooperative movement in India, and our main purpose is to promote the cooperative movement in the country, not at the national level, at the global level also. As regard this, regarding youth participation, we have a cooperative connect cell in our NCI, which is regularly organizing awareness program, not only among the college, universities, but in school also. We are regularly at least 1 to 2 programs are conducting every month, where students are coming to our campus, they are reaching our campus, and we are giving them the awareness about the cooperatives. And as well as there are 3, 4 universities, we have already tied up with these universities. And recently, for the last 1 year, we are also conducting one certificate course on law management with the collaboration with IP University Delhi. The IP University Delhi faculties are coming here and they are giving the lectures and training, and also they are issuing the certificate. Like that, we are also exploring more ideas with different universities. This is for your information to all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Before I open the session with the permission of chair to the any question answer, we can take 1 or 2, sir. If anyone is, if people
yes, sir. There is one question. Hello.
Yes. Sri Dr. Sanjay Verma ji from NCUI. Yes, sir.
Actually, my question is that, first of all, I must congratulate, World Economic Forum for organizing this very timely webinar. And the approach is very, very timely because, you want to conduct dialogue at the deepest level with an interdisciplinary character, though there are many other world economic cooperative bodies. So my question is that, that in the wake of the various initiatives of Ministry of Cooperation, for implementation of the various initiatives of Ministry of Cooperation at the grassroots level. So, what should be the model of good governance so that there is good collaboration between all the stakeholders and all the organizations at the district, village level, so that these initiatives are implemented at the grassroots level. So there are 54 initiatives of the Ministry of Cooperation. So, what is the stand of World Cooperative Economic Forum on this issue? How can it take up this advocacy issue also? So just wanted your inputs or some experts' inputs, Vinodji.
Yeah, with permission of Chair and Chief Guest, Dilip Sanghani ji, I must respond over this. Through a series of webinars, conferences, and the different mode of interaction, World Cooperation Economic Forum can bring the process and policies at one place, so that a participatory governance system, which is a very much quintessential for good governance system, right? So this is what we are envisioning. It will not only create a different fora of a different platform where the various thoughts can be discussed, especially the changes which the Ministry of Cooperation newly formed have brought in, but also it will espouse the idea of maximum governance and minimum government. See, cooperative is a one form where the people govern themselves, people do business for themselves. So this is the best example of maximum governance and minimum government. This is a best example for one nation, one market, and we can develop a module for cooperative, this kind of cooperative governance training, and further it will help to converge the minds who are into this process of integration, especially the national integration. We are here thinking to create a model through which where we will be able to embrace skills, scale and speed. So this 3S is very important. There are various things are available, but the district administrator and at the block level, the government officials, they are not very much equipped with the skills. Might be there are registrars, there are assistant registrars who are working. I am also alumni of the Vamnicom where they are getting trained. But the skill which is required to think about the Amrit Kal 2047 cooperative organization is still somewhere we are lacking. So we will create a cooperative governance model to scale them, to scale it up and provide the accurate speed so that to the various network of educational institutions, their alumni, as they can come up with a National Cooperative Union of India and can realize these kind of goal reforms so that the district administration can be directed to be more conversed, more open, and more connected to equip themselves with the cooperation specific skills. And that includes not only the running of the organization, but in imbibing the commercial scale into them, the legal aspect, the financial negotiation and the contract management skills. The cooperative at the grassroots level, like Professor Suresh Mehta has talked about, they don't have contract management skills. That is why they are not able to run the canteen. That is why they are not able to create profit. They are not able to have the the proper financial negotiation skills. So the social and solidarity economy, what we are talking about, through all these things, we will do this. So there are traditional social and solidarity economy actors like the cooperatives, mutual associations, through democratic self-control and all those things will come up. And there are other financing, credit unions, solidarity financing, ethical banks. So that's what we are planning and we are envisioning for through this World Cooperative, Economic Forum. I think, Sanjay sir, I have answered your question.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Vinod. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. And before I will ask our the Global Council member Sudhir Kumar Jha to give a proper vote of thanks, I will request if Dilip Sanghani ji want to say something on the proceedings and the way forward.
I think I will say only thank you. All participants is take some time for country and nature and cooperative. That's why thank you all members.
Thank you so much, sir. And I am also thanking Rohit Anand, who has coordinated all these efforts, and he is from the World Cooperation Economic Forum Secretariat. Thanking you, Rohit, for all this, good action you have taken since last 3 days, 4 days. Only you have coordinated each and everything. So thank you to you and your team. Now I request our Global Council members, Dr. Sudhir Kumar Jha, to kindly give official vote of thanks. Over to Dr. Sudhir.
आप सभी को नमस्कार and a very good afternoon to one and all. Today we have been observing National Good Governance Day on the occasion of the birth anniversary of our former Prime Minister Bharat Ratna Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. And on this occasion, the World Economic Forum has organized a global webinar on good governance as a panacea to create social and solidarity economy. So on this occasion, I would like to take this opportunity to extend my vote of thanks to each and everyone. So at the outset, I would like to thank our chief guest, Sri Dilip Sanghani ji, who is the chairman of IFCO, chairman and CUI, and chairman of founder chairman and founder member of World Cooperative Economic Forum. Thank you, sir, for giving us the time and taking all the time from a busy schedule and enlightening us on the different aspects of the cooperatives and how the government is coming with different schemes and different separate ministry of cooperatives and how the government is inclined towards giving much more importance to cooperatives and building a resilient economy. So thank you, sir. Next, I would like to thank Sri Rajveer Sharma sir, who has been the chairman of IAPA Delhi chapter. Thank you, sir, for taking out the time from a busy schedule and enlightening us on different aspects of district administration, cooperatives, and detailed note on the solidarity economy. So, thank you, sir, from the World Cooperative Economic Forum. Next, I would like to thank Sri R.G. Agrawal, sir, who is from Dhanuka Agro Limited. Sir, thank you for enlightening us and taking out the time for us from a busy schedule and talking openly on different aspects of Indian agriculture and like increasing the R&D fund and bringing out the new technologies and many other aspects and how to deal with the spurious chemicals and low quality agriculture inputs. Thank you, sir, for enlightening us with your experience. Next, I would like to thank Sri Devi Prasad, sir, Director of Center of Good Governance. Thank you, sir, for taking out the time from a busy schedule and talking about the proper model of agriculture, our consolidation of the land, and to how to deal with the land holdings problem, and to build a solidarity economy. And you also talked about the autocratic cooperativization as in China. So thank you, sir, for talking about the said topic in this global webinar. Next, I would like to thank Dr. Suresh Mishra, sir, from IAPA. Sir, thank you for taking out the time for us and to enlighten us with your experience and talking in much detail about the university system and the education system of our university and the importance of establishing the university as an innovative center rather than just establishment as a university. And your much experience and the talk about the convergence of the Panchayati Raj institutions and cooperatives so that we can really build a resilient economy and we can remove the duplicacy and work together to build economy which is really works in the welfare of everyone. Next, I would like to thank Sri Ashish Anandji, as told by Sri Vinod Anandji, that he has been working much in blockchain in agriculture and lending the farmers in the minimum time possible. So thank you, sir, for talking about the decentralization and tax and the importance of the cooperative banks for the welfare of the farmers and how the role of cooperative banks can be increased further by ensuring that more and more role they can play in really lending to the farmers. So, and integrating the cooperative banks in the economy. So, thank you, sir, for sharing your experience. I would like to thank Sri Rohit ji from Dholakia Foundation, the main behind coordinating the entire program so effectively and his tireless efforts in the last few days. So, thanks a lot, Sri Rohit ji, and your entire team for the entire effort for building this entire global webinar a really successful one. So, thanks a lot. I would also like to thank Sri Mrs. Savitri Singh ji from NCUI for sharing your views in this global webinar. Next, I would like to thank Sri Vinod Anand ji, the real gem and the real backbone of the World Cooperative Economic Forum and the CNRI, and the main behind the entire beyond the curtain he is doing each and every tireless efforts day and night to make the cooperatives, to make the NGOs really work for the upliftment of the farmers and the society in the real sense. So thanks a lot for all your efforts, sir. Last but not the least, I am very much thankful to all the participants and for everyone for taking out your time and to be here with us in this global webinar and for sharing your experience also of your members. So I would like to thank each and every one of you. So thanks a lot on behalf of the World Cooperation Economic Forum as well as our collaborators like IIT Delhi chapter, Wamicom Alumni Association and Center for Good Governance. So thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Vinod.
Congratulations for Vinod Kumar.
Thank you, sir. थैंक यू सर। आपके मार्गदर्शन के पहले जो हम लोग कविता गाते थे वाजपेयी जी की कि टूटते हुए सपनों की सुने कौन सिसकी, तो हमारी सिसकियों को सुनने के लिए हमारे सपने अब टूटेंगे नहीं। आपके जैसा नेतृत्व है हमारे पास में, पत्थरों में आपने जान फूंक दी है। अभी तो यही सोचना है कि कौरव कौन है पांडव कौन है, बड़ा टेढ़ा सवाल है। दोनों और शकुनी का फैला कुट जाल है। लेकिन वो जो कविता जो वाजपेयी जी की है कि गीत नया गाता हूं, तो हम लोग गीत नया गाते रहेंगे और आगे चलते रहेंगे और वर्ल्ड कोऑपरेटिव इकोनॉमिक फोरम को नई ऊंचाइयों पर ले जाएंगे। बल्कि आपके मार्गदर्शन में हम लोग आगे जो दोनों तरफ कौरव और पांडवों में जो शकुनी है, आज जो कृष्ण कहाँ खो गया है, उस कृष्ण को जरूर तलाश पाएंगे और हम लोग एक नई दिशा पूरे विश्व को दे पाएंगे। ताकि आंकड़े ऐसे हो कि इस दुनिया में जब 2030 तक जब बात हो तो उसमें भारत का नारा हो कि भारत के मॉडल से, गुजरात के गुजको मशहूर मॉडल से सस्टेनेबिलिटी और सॉलिडेरिटी इकोनॉमी आ गया। आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर। आपने एक प्रोग्राम को छोड़ करके बहुत प्रोग्राम को छोड़ कर आप हम लोगों के साथ रहे। आज का दिन बड़ा शुभमय है। हम सब उन दोनों पुण्य आत्माओं को प्रणाम करते हुए आपका आशीर्वाद इसी प्रकार से मिलता रहे और हम लोग कौरवों से लड़ते रहें, शकुनी से लड़ते रहें। बहुत बहुत प्रणाम सर। आप सबको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।